We're going to do a concrete example. We have a concrete launch pad down in Florida, and on that is a rocket ship, and that rocket ship is blasting off 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Looks like that. Now, all forces are an interaction between two things. Things you can taste, smell, touch. Okay? They push on each other or they pull on each other. I would ask you, what thing is pushing on the rocket? What thing is pushing on the rocket? Talk to your neighbor. What thing is pushing on the rocket? My second question is this a contact force or a non-contact force? Now, we're going to actually do this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Rocket Man! Okay. I need a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This demo has not always gone well. 23 years ago, I was lecturing over in Reed Hall 108. It had a stage like Reed 105, and I was just rocketing across that stage, heading for a brick wall. I immediately turned around to give air brakes, but I forgot to stop spraying, and I took out the front row. Another time, I went to an elementary school, like that. And we have two of these. One that fires out this way, and another one that fires out perpendicular. And I forgot which one I had. Hey kids! Pow! And it hit me right in the forehead. I landed on the ground. The third graders thought it was great fun. Now, let's talk about that. When I was over here, I was able to push against that wall. What was I pushing against when I was over here? The air. Okay. Now, I'm going to suggest an experiment. Suppose we start in the middle of the room, away from that wall. And then we're going to close these doors and suck all the air out. Take a deep breath. We close the doors, we suck all the air out. And then I sit here and I go, psh. Do I go anywhere? Yes. Come on, people, you saw Apollo 13, right? They're in outer space trying to get home. Right? Okay, if you didn't see that movie, you saw Wall-E. And he had the fire extinguisher and he was just kind of going around in space. Folks, we don't need the wall. We don't need the air. We don't need the concrete launch pad. That only serves to keep the rocket out of the mud. What is pushing on what? Every force is an interaction between two things. In this case, this cylinder is pushing on what? The compressed CO2, the fuel. And if it's taking that fuel and throwing it, pushing it that way, by third law, it's pushing on the canister this way. And that's how rockets work. That's how rockets work. Now I am I'm embarrassed to admit that I did not always appreciate this. When I was 14, my neighbor, his name was Paul Jonke, and I were geeks. And we did experiments. And a lot of those experiments involved rockets. And we had these little rockets that had solid pellets that were the fuel. And it kind of looked like that without the man. And one day, we were making a rocket, and I wanted to make it look like a spaceship. So I went and borrowed, by which I mean stole, a pie plate from my mother, and we attached it. And then I said to Paul, Paul, it's a crying shame that NASA can't bring the launch pad with it. I mean, they get that really good boost at the beginning, but then not so much. What if we were to bring our launch pad with us? So I went and borrowed, by which I mean stole, another pie plan, and we bolted them together. Now, what does that look like to you? Yeah, that's a bomb. That's exactly how it worked. That's exactly how it worked. And that's how I learned. Okay. Now,